The February wind sliced through Pinecrest, Wisconsin, like a frozen knife that night. It rattled the windows of our old two-story house on Maple Street as I dragged myself home after another 12-hour shift at Pinnacle Tech Support. My right shoulder throbbed from wrestling heavy server racks all day. The kind of deep ache that makes you dream only of a hot shower and collapsing into bed. But Marcus had other plans. I smelled him before I saw him. That sour mix of stale beer and overpowering aftershave that always signaled trouble. He sat hunched at the kitchen table. A pile of papers fanned out like some kind of desperate altar. "There's my favorite stepdaughter," he slurred, his voice thick and oily. "Your only stepdaughter," I corrected quietly, easing my work bag onto the counter. Even that small motion sent a fresh stab through my shoulder. He shoved the documents toward me. "Do me this one favor. Sophia. Just your name right there." I glanced down. A refinancing application for a massive Ford F-450 diesel truck. The co-signer line stared back at me like a trap. My stomach twisted. "No," I said, the word flat and final. I'd been burned by Marcus before, his endless schemes. The motorcycle I'd ended up paying off alone after he missed every payment. "Come on, Soph," he wheedled. "You've got the steady paycheck. The good credit score. Won't cost you a dime." It would cost me everything when he inevitably defaulted. I turned toward the stairs, desperate to escape. "Sophia Grace Reed, you get back here right now." My mother's voice cracked like a whip from the top landing. Vivian Hale descended slowly. Her once soft features, now sharpened by years of resentment and denial. High cheekbones and those same green eyes I'd inherited, but hardened into something distant and unforgiving. "Marcus needs that truck for the new construction gig with Dale's crew. Reliable wheels matter." "He's not my father," I murmured. "And he doesn't hold down jobs. His opportunities vanish faster than his paychecks." Marcus's face darkened. Vivian reached the bottom step. "Family comes first," she declared. Her mantra for every bail posting. Every rent shortfall. Every time he'd pawned heirlooms for booze. Family comes first when he needed gambling money. When he blew the rent. When he sold grandma's ring. Family doesn't demand I gamble my future. That's when I made the fatal mistake. I turned my back. The beer bottle shattered against the wall inches from my head. Glass and foam spraying everywhere. I flinched and spun just as Marcus lunged from his chair. His shoulders slammed into my chest, pinning me hard against the doorframe corner. A sickening pop exploded in my right shoulder as something gave way. White-hot pain blinded me. Marcus's hand clamped onto the injury, squeezing with cruel pressure. "You think you're too good for this family?" he snarled, breath hot and foul. My knees buckled. "Mom," I gasped. "Please." Vivian stood frozen in the kitchen doorway. "Watching. Just watching." "You brought this on yourself," she said coldly. "If you'd signed like family should." Marcus released me only when my scream pierced the air. My shoulder hung unnaturally low. Every breath a fresh torment. "Get out," he barked, yanking the front door open. "Come back when you're ready to act like family." Vivian murmured something half-hearted about my shoulder. But Marcus hauled me onto the porch and slammed the door, locking it behind me. No phone. No keys. No wallet, just me. Injured and shivering in the sub-zero night. I stumbled 3 blocks before adrenaline faded and real agony set in. Each step jarred the joint. Each inhale felt like fire. But I kept moving toward Lucas's apartment building. The only safe place left. My half-brother, same mother, different father, had escaped years earlier. Wiser than I'd been. He'd seen what I still hoped to deny. Vivian would always choose Marcus. Lucas's face shifted from irritation to horror when he opened the door. "Jesus. Soph, what the hell happened to your shoulder?" He didn't wait for details. guiding me inside to his couch. The apartment smelled of fresh coffee and clean linen. A sanctuary. As a paramedic, he moved with practiced calm. Retrieving his kit. Hospital. No insurance, I mumbled. Pinnacle had slashed everyone to part-time last month. He cursed softly, then repositioned me carefully. This is gonna hurt. On 3-1. The relocation pop was loud. Relief instant, but incomplete. He fashioned a sling from a towel. You have to report this. It's gone too far. Vivian watched, I whispered. She stood there. Lucas's jaw tightened with old bitterness. Of course she did. Her love was always conditional, and the conditions always favored him. I spent that night on his couch replaying the violence, feeling Marcus's grip, seeing my mother's cold stare. Family comes first, she always said. But what happens when family is the source of your destruction? Morning brought harsh clarity. Lucas handed me coffee, his expression grave. Filed charges while the evidence is fresh. I knew he was right. Next time it might not be a shoulder. But Vivian was still our mother, blood tying us in complicated knots. I'll go with you, he offered. At the Pinecrest Sheriff's Station, Detective Carla Ruiz listened without judgment, sliding tissues across the table as tears came unbidden. I recounted the loan refusal, the assault, Vivian's complicity. Ruiz's jaw clenched at the injury description. Do you have a safe place? My brother's. Good. Get that shoulder medically documented. We'll help with the clinic voucher. What next? I asked. We'll bring him in for questioning. Assault charges are solid based on your statement and visible trauma. Domestic violence enhancements possible since your mother witnessed. The words felt surreal. Material witness. Vivian could corroborate or sabotage everything. She'll lie for him, I said. Ruiz nodded sadly. I'm sorry, but you did the right thing. Lucas waited in the lobby, pacing. His phone buzzed, an anonymous text. Tell your sister family doesn't betray family. Then a photo of his car in the lot. Tires freshly slashed. A note under the wiper. Next time it won't be tires. We called Ruiz immediately. She arrived fast, processing the scene. Witness intimidation, felony. Expediting the warrant. But when deputies reached the house, Marcus had vanished. Vivian claimed ignorance, insisting I'd never been home that night, that my injury must be work-related. She's always dramatic, she told them. Hearing her denial secondhand from Ruiz felt like another betrayal. Without my belongings or corroboration, the system had gaps Marcus could exploit. That evening, over Chinese takeout at Lucas's, silence hung heavy. He did this because of me, I said. Lucas set down his chopsticks. No. He did it because he's dangerous and thinks threats will make it disappear. Let him think he's winning while we document everything, paper trails so thick her lies can't bury it. He eyed the truck refinancing papers Marcus had obsessed over for weeks. Bet he's forging anyway. My credit report the next morning confirmed an inquiry from Lakeside Credit Union the day after the assault. Calling the bank revealed a pending fraudulent application with my forged signature as cosigner. I need fraud department, I told them, voice shaking. The signature looked close but wrong, the loops too perfect. The slant off. They flagged it immediately. The fraud representative transferred me swiftly. Within an hour I sat in their branch office across from loan manager Greg Harlan, signing affidavits. This isn't my signature, I confirmed, pointing out the discrepancies. They likely copied from an old lease I left at the house. Harlan noted everything. We'll review footage. Flag as fraud and freeze approval. File a police report and fraud alert on your credit. Lenders must verify with you directly. Detective Ruiz was unsurprised by the update. Assault. Intimidation. Now forgery and identity theft. Hale's racking up charges. Marcus remained missing. Vivian continued lying. That evening, while Lucas worked a shift, sharp knocks sounded at the door. Through the peephole, a man in coveralls with a clipboard. Looking for Marcus Hale. Recovery order on a 2020 Ford F-450. VIN ending 3921. My pulse raced. He doesn't live here. The Repo specialist, Brock Ellis from Northwoods Recovery, left his card after confirming the address mismatch. I stared at the card long after he left. According to Lakeside, no loan had funded, but Brock claimed approval through another lender, Riverside Finance Union, 5 days earlier, with my forged signature time-stamped during my work shift. I met Brock at a quiet diner off the highway an hour later. He was rugged, mid-30s, with calm competence earned from tough recoveries. After hearing my story, assault, pending charges, maternal betrayal, dual forgeries, he whistled low. First payment bounced immediately. Account overdrawn from day one. Insurance listed under your name. Address your mom's house. The paperwork he discreetly allowed me to photograph showed my signature again. Better forgery, but still imperfect. A VIN discrepancy between loan and insurance raised alarms. Could be planning a swap, Brock suggested. Get the nice truck. Swap Vince with a junker. Report stolen. Collect insurance. Desperation makes people reckless. Brock handed me his direct line. When your detective needs files, I'll cooperate fully. Repo cars, not lives. This ain't right. He promised thorough inspections if he located the vehicle, buying time for authorities. Ruiz called later. Surveillance spotted Vivian driving the exact F-450. Plates registered to me per DMV. Adding vehicle fraud. Can impound without cause unless VIN mismatch provides probable cause. I suggested the tampering angle. Pass it to the team. Stay low, cornered men like Hale get dangerous. Next morning, Pinnacle HR called. Margie offered support and confirmed my badge logs proved I was at work during supposed signing times, alibi gold. They even created a new legal aid policy inspired by my case. One more nail. But Marcus escalated at 3 a.m. Photo of my old bedroom destroyed. Walls sprayed snitch. Officers found Vivian claiming it was old damage from my episodes. Ruiz noted fresh paint chemically and the threatening text as evidence. Brock called days later. Found the truck at a chop shop south side. Prepped for stripping. Shop owned by Dale Morrison, Marcus's supposed boss. Ruiz mobilized. It was already under investigation. Officers raided, catching Marcus negotiating the truck's disappearance amid stolen parts. VIN tampering confirmed. Arrests followed. Marcus. Dale. Others. Truck impounded. Marcus faced stacked charges: assault, intimidation, identity theft, forgery, insurance fraud, conspiracy. Vivian began calling, suddenly remembering details differently, eager to cooperate against him, likely self-preservation. Bail denied after prosecutor highlighted scope of identity theft and chop shop links. In court, Marcus appeared diminished in orange jumpsuit, rage flashing when he saw me. Judge denied bail, citing flight risk and danger. Post-hearing, Vivian tried approaching. Sophia, I need to explain. Lucas blocked her. You watched him hurt her. Lied to police. You're done. I'm your mother. I said softly. Family comes first, but I choose real family now. She crumbled as we walked away. Civil hearing weeks later cleared fraudulent accounts for my credit. Judge ordered asset return. Brock testified. Uncomfortable in a suit but credible. Riverside Finance recovered losses from Marcus. Post-hearing, Brock mentioned transporting the truck to auction. Might take scenic route past your mom's place Tuesday noon. Subtle justice. Tuesday. Lucas and I parked across from the now-for-sale house, overgrown lawn. Piled papers, Sadness clinging. The F-450 rumbled up. Brock idled conspicuously. Honked twice to ensure Vivian saw. Then drove past with a salute. Small satisfaction. Not triumph. A padded envelope arrived later. USB with Brock's body cam footage. Marcus bragging to Dale about forging my signature. Mocking me as dumb enough to refuse family. Vivian on phone urging quick truck removal. Damning. Admissible evidence sent to Ruiz. Trial loomed 3 months out. Marcus's defender sought plea. Prosecutor held firm. Too many counts. Agencies involved. Evidence overwhelming. Vivian's calls about forgiveness went deleted. Pinnacle welcomed me back with documented alibis. CEO-backed legal fund offered real support. I moved to my own third-floor apartment, safer. No easy tire slashing. Brock updated. Chop Shop probe expanded. Exposing larger network. Marcus's scheme inadvertently aided law enforcement. 15 to 20 years likely. It felt like chapter close. Not victory. Threat text ceased. Fear faded slowly. At sentencing, Marcus took a plea. Guilty across board for concurrent time. He looked broken. Offered no statement. Vivian had fled out of state. Still spinning victim narratives to relatives. Post-court. Brock found me outside. You stood ground. Not everyone does. If you need references, job, rental, call. Though don't mention details, reputation. We shook hands. I kept the card as reminder help arrives unexpectedly. 6 months later, promotion at Pinnacle brought stability. Sunday dinners with Lucas became ritual, safe. No demands. Ever talk to her again? He asked once.
No.
Silence settled comfortably. Family comes first, I said. It does. That's why she's gone, and we're here. Marcus stole security. Maternal bond. System trust, but taught a lesson. Smallest refusals reshape everything. Real family protects. Shelters. Fights beside you. Not blood alone. But chosen bonds. Brother who heals wounds. Detective who believes. Colleague verifying alibis. Repo man stalling for justice. Sometimes best revenge is standing firm. Letting another's greed self-destruct. The Wisconsin wind still bites. But I face it warmer now, coated in resilience. Home secure. Knowing I survived by saying no. Family isn't obligation or pain acceptance. It's mutual safeguarding. You deserve better than harm disguised as love, no matter the relation. The choice to redefine family saved me. What would you choose when blood demands your ruin?